to I King Dandy crazy. Wow. You're watching MD90. Subscribe to YouTube channel. Nishiu. They gave you.
So Jay Banda is still in the news, and this is what Jay's guards appeared drunk on day of escape. That's a Ness. So Chipata Magistrate Court has heard that 3 officers from Zambia Correctional Service and 2 policemen who were guarding former Petauke Central Independent Member of Parliament Emmanuel Banda at Chipata Central Hospital before he escaped was seemingly drunk. So that's coming from JJ's case. You can see the news has trended. H-Petronas has testified that the officers guarding Jay Banda during his escape appeared drunk, caught hears, according to NBC there. So these have been arrested, by the way. So a registered nurse at Chipata Central Hospital, Carol Daka, told court that the officers who were on duty on the day Mr. Banda escaped from lawful custody appeared to be drunk. This is in a case in which one of the wives of Mr. Banda, Chadi Lombe, is jointly charged with 3 ZCS officers and 2 police officers for aiding a prisoner to escape from lawful custody. Mr. Banda, now a fugitive, escaped from custody while receiving treatment and under guard at Chipata Central Hospital on Sunday, August 4th last year, 2024. According to Ms. Daka, one of the officers on duty was smelling alcohol and could not walk properly on the same day Mr. Banda escaped. So that's feedback coming from the nurse there. And then people are just reacting to Donald Trump's cutting edge to the US aid in Zambia and pretty much most of the programs. So people are saying, have you seen how Trump is doing, putting his country first without giving a Kariba damn about his decisions, the impact on African countries? That's the way Africans are supposed to be innovative and take control. According to New York Times, President Trump has halted HIV drug distribution in poor countries. PERFA's computer system also been taken offline, a sign that the program may not return. So most people that are on antiretrovirus treatment, ARVs, reacted to that. After that was communicated to say funding to those institutions is on hold for 90 days. People reaction, obviously, CDC staff ordered to cut communication with the World Health Organization. Pretty much Trump is putting his foot down to a lot of things, and the world is just facing the ripple effect of that. As you may be aware, the US has pulled out of the WHO. Trump suspends foreign aid, including AIDS and TB funding. So just to make it clear, those drugs that most of these institutions were receiving from the US were put on hold. But I believe that has been reversed. Just the AIDS and the humanitarian aid, everything else is still on pause. Obviously, Mashkeke Akashamba, who's a Zambian based in the US, reacting to say when they want you to be on the list. So as you may be aware, there are a number of Zambians that have been put on the deportation list. So he's simply reacting to say a number of people, because he's a very active UPND advocate in the US. So he has a lot of back and forth with especially the PF opposition. So he was just saying people are expecting him to be an illegal immigrant in the States, but it turns out he's got his papers right. So he was just laughing at them to say, people want me on that list, I'm not. And then he goes further to say, dear Zambians, I know a lot of you, I know a lot of you that work for USAID and PERFA funded programs have been told to stop work for now. Trump has also canceled federal grants and infrastructure funding here in the US. It's not just there. He's doing it here too. So he's simply saying whatever Africa and the rest of the world is experiencing is just a drop in the it's being done in the US also, because just now it was just announced that A number of people in the civil service in America or government workers have been given an option to retire and get benefits of up to 8 months pay if they resign now, as opposed to them being fired later on. So a lot of cuts coming. So this is where people are having a conversation, bringing up to say the Misa Moyo had warned the Zambians and the rest of the world to say Ed is dead. It's a weapon that is used by hegemonic powers to have control over the rest of the world, and this is when they're facing it. Zambia receives up to 700 million US dollars annually in aid from the US. Donald Trump has suspended this. Let's discuss this. Obviously, Emmanuel Mwamba simply saying he was trying to dodge a bullet with regard to the backlash that he was getting from the UPND based off a number of posts that he had done over the weekend. But yeah, Damisa Moyo has been proved right. She had warned the world about this, and you're facing the effects. Lusambo forfeits 4 houses, Range Rover. Houses were registered in wife's name, so you can, if you remember, so Economic and Financial Crimes Court has ordered the forfeiture of jailed Lusaka Province, former Lusaka Province Minister Bowman Lusambo, has 4 houses, the Range Rover to the state, been tainted. So that's what has happened to Bowman Lusambo. So Residence Magistrate Vides Amandu yesterday ordered the convicts' properties be forfeited because the court had earlier established that the assets are proceeds of crime. So the forfeiture of the properties is in respect to a recent conviction on 10 counts of money laundering related charges. I find the properties, names the properties tainted and established before in this court. So Bowman Sambo's properties have been forfeited to the state. And then George Mutonga, this is another Zambian based in the US, and he responds to say, United Party for National Development, UPND, be clean, because we do not expect, we do expect audits of everyone when leadership changes. So he's simply forewarning the UPND ministers and the rest of them to say what is happening to Bowman Lusambo. It's not unique to Bowman Lusambo. Even the current government, once they leave power, audits will be demanded of the people that occupy public offices. So that's according to George Mutonga there. And then the Economic Financial Crimes Office just repeating the same news it has trended of Bowman Lusambo's properties. And that's an image of him leaving court in one of the cases, because he's been appealing or applying for bail since his arrest. He applied sometime late last year in December, but that could not be granted. His case came up, should have been in January 19th, and they're having a back and forth with regard to his bail application. So that's what's going on with regard to Bowman Lusambo. Electoral Commission of Zambia condemns campaign violence in Petauke. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has noted with concern the violence involving the National Congress Party and the United Party for National Development, which occurred in Mainga Ward, Petauke district during campaigns. Campaigns in Petauke are heated, definitely. So that's the news, ladies and gentlemen.